even when I was a kid, I was really interested in making computers do things they weren't supposed to. And so I would read, some of it, like back in the 90s, there were these, there wasn't this big awareness of cybersecurity, at least, throughout, even everyone that used a computer. And so there were these like online magazines called like Frack and this hacker magazine called 2600, and I loved reading those things and kind of figuring out the ways that computers could go wrong. And it made my parents really nervous when I left these printouts like lying around the house, just like, what if somebody thinks you're doing something bad? But I never really got into any trouble doing that, but that kind of sparked my interest in cybersecurity. So my research work is focused on language-based security. And so I use techniques from programming language theory and design to build into the programming languages that you design a computer program with to enforce security like by construction. So any program you write in that language is going to enforce the confidentiality and integrity policies that on the data that it's processing. And so one of the main tools that I use in a lot of my research is information flow control, which makes sure that not just access to secrets or high integrity data is controlled, but also the way that it flows through the program, so that you know that any inputs that are secret are not going to flow into public outputs, so that an attacker would be able to learn something by just analyzing the outputs of the program. I think the easiest thing that people could do is use password managers. Don't use the same password on all of your accounts. Use randomized passwords, and those are really hard to remember when you use a randomized password. But these password managers are really easy to use these days, and it lets you keep all of the passwords that you're using for different sites in your computer and automatically fill in forms and things like that. So I think it's a great way to just give you some assurance that even if one of your accounts get compromised, all of your internet presence won't be. I'm teaching a couple of classes that I'm excited about. Right now I'm teaching Intro to Functional Programming, which is the first time it's been offered. I'm really passionate about functional programming languages because I think that it's easier to get them right and easier to prove they're correct. I'm also excited about teaching this compilers class that's happening in the winter. So I would encourage students that are interested in compilers and languages to take some classes with me, because I love to infect people with programming languages.